We are going to start off with a bretzel. So it's going to work a lot of the front side of our body, kind of the quads, and we get a good upper body rotation. So to get set up, you want to lay on your side. I just have a little pad here. If you're at home, maybe a pillow would be great. You're going to cross your top leg over, and then you're going to pull your knee so it's around hip level. Take your other hand, grab your foot on that opposite leg, and then from here, all we're going to do is drop our shoulders down to the ground. So now we're getting a great stretch on our quad, on our bottom leg. We're getting some upper body rotation. Just a good big bang for your buck stretch. We're gonna hold this for 60 seconds and then we're gonna switch sides. So let's get the timer going. And 3, 2, 1, and go. This can be pretty tough, so if you're struggling with this, you could always just either pull your quad up and forget about the rotation in the upper body, or you can let go of this bottom leg and just do the rotational part of the upper body. But find what works best for you, and as you run through this, you should feel a little bit looser. Just make sure you're breathing, not holding your breath. And for me, every breath, I like to try to sink down a little bit deeper into the stretch. This one can be really, really intense. Should almost be done. Yeah, 1 second to go. All right, let's switch sides. Which way should I go? I'll go this way. And let's get set up. One leg up top, and then we'll rotate to the side. Let's get set up, and 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Again, big breath in, exhale, drop that shoulder down a little bit further. Again, ease into it. Make sure you're breathing. If you're not breathing, then you're probably going a little bit too far into the stretch. So make sure you back off if you're holding your breath. All right, 5 more seconds to go. All right, 1 minute bretzel. Now we're gonna do bretzel 2.0, which is gonna work a little bit more of the muscles on the opposite side, so a little bit more with the hips. Again, we're still getting that upper body rotation. This time we're gonna be sitting up in a 90-90 position. Front leg is 90 degrees, back leg is 90 degrees, and then from here, sit up nice and tall. Get your shoulders so they're lined up with your front shin, so they'll be parallel to each other. And then arm comes right by this knee, palm down, this arm palm up, place it underneath so they're touching. Keep the elbows locked out, and then you're going to drop your shoulders down while you keep your elbows locked out. Should feel a little bit of a stretch in this front hip, the glute, and then we're getting that upper body rotation again. All right, let's get that timer out. We're gonna do 1 minute here too. Everything in this thing is gonna be 1 minute. And let's get started. Try not to hunch over. Feel like you're tall, like chest out, and then drop the shoulders. That way we keep a good, kind of a good position in the spine, and we don't hunch in our low back. We don't want to round that low back in this one. Again, you can sink down a little bit further each breath. So now we're getting a little bit of that hip rotation, the internal and external rotation. We're getting that T-spine rotation, the rotation in the mid-back, and it is good. 15 seconds to go. Try to sink a little bit further down. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's switch sides. Get 90-90. And then again, 1 minute, and here we go. These 90-90 positions are one of my favorite positions. Again, you get a little bit of rotation in each leg. And for most people, for a lot of people, getting into that rotation is a little bit tougher. We get a little bit stiff because we start sitting all day and we're not moving as much. And usually we don't rotate too much from the hips either when we're just kind of doing normal things throughout the day. So it's very important to make sure these get a little bit of an attention or of attention. If you're a rotational athlete or you do some sort of sport that you have to rotate, very, very important to make sure these are working nice. 5 more seconds to go. All right, 1 minute each side, Bretzel 2.0. So we did Bretzel 1, Bretzel 2.0. Now let's go into a foot stretch. I'm gonna place my cell phone back in my pocket. And then from here, all we're gonna do is tuck our feet under, our toes under. Show it to you from the side. And then we're going to slowly sit our butt back onto our heels. And now we're getting a great stretch on our foot and our toes. Very important. We start to get a little bit stiff in the toes. Well, some of us do, and then it can really affect things like walking. So what we're gonna do here is 1 minute total, and let's go. Yeah, the big toe is very underappreciated. We have to use these toes for things like balance. When we're walking, it propels us forward. And then if those are not working correctly, our ankles start getting stiff, and then our hips can't fully extend as we walk, and then all this bad stuff can happen. So let's make sure these toes are feeling good. Good, 30 seconds to go. If it ever gets too intense, you could always just back off by just sitting up a little bit. I started to feel a little bit of a extra stretch in that Achilles, so I want to back up just a little bit, but it's feeling a little bit better now, so I'm gonna go right back into it. 15 seconds to go. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, 60 seconds, foot stretch to toe stretch, foot stretch, and we actually get into the Achilles too and the calves. All right, last one. We are gonna go into just a seated trap stretch. 1 minute here as well. One arm behind the back, pull the shoulder down and back. I don't want the shoulder shrugged up or rolled forward. Pull that back, nice and tall, chest out, pull the shoulder down, slightly touch the opposite side of your head, and then pull. Great stretch down the whole side of the neck. 1 minute. Be pretty gentle on this one. If your neck is a little bit on the tighter side, you don't want to pull too hard too quick. Really ease into this one. So breathe. Slight tug so you feel a little bit of a stretch, and then just hang out there, and then we can revisit this in like 10-15 seconds. And then if we start pulling a little bit more and it feels fine, that's perfectly cool. If you feel it tug a little bit too much, it's uncomfortable, just back off. But 30 more seconds here. Good, 15 more seconds. Ease into it. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, relax there. Let's reset. Again, arm behind the back, slowly pull the shoulder down and back. So we're trying to get as much space between our shoulder and our ear, and then I'm gonna set the timer. Let's place our hand on the opposite side of the head and pull. Let's get started. For me, this side feels a little bit tighter. I can feel it tugging. It's not the most comfortable, so I'm gonna back off just a little bit. And if you're at home doing this too, again, always can back off if it's a little bit too intense. 15 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, trap stretch, working on the neck muscles. And that is it for our mobility exercises and stretches. But we always finish up with a strengthener. We are going to work on bird dogs. To get set up, knees under hips, hands under shoulders, and then we're gonna do opposite arm, opposite leg. Keeping the midsection steady, keeping the torso level, coming back in, and then back out. Working our core muscles here, our shoulders, a little bit of a rotational component comes into it, so we have to really work on those anti-rotation core muscles as well. And if you need a little bit of feedback, what I want you to do is place something on your mid back or your lower back. I have a pad. You can just place anything that can stay a little bit balanced here, but this is just for some feedback. So if you're bringing your arm out and your leg out and you're struggling and you're starting to tip over, you'll really notice that if you have something on your low back, because it'll start sliding off. We want to keep that as steady as possible throughout the movement to get the most out of the exercise. So I'm going to actually place this on my low back for this one. And we're gonna do 5 reps on each side. I'm gonna do just one side at a time, and then I'm gonna switch it over. At home, you can alternate. So again, good neutral back. We don't wanna be too arched or too hunched. Just a good neutral low back. And again, pushing into the ground at all times, opposite arm, opposite leg. Good, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, good, 6, 7, good, 8, 9, and 10. Another really good way to strengthen that lower back too, and it doesn't really aggravate it too much. So this is a great exercise if you have a little bit of low back pain and you need to really strengthen up that core low back muscles. Let's reset this here. All right, let's do the other side. Let's finish it up. Good, 1, good, 2, 3, good, 4, 5, good, 6, 7, good, 8, 9, and 10. Bird dogs, 10 reps on each side.